Hello there. It's another exciting moment on Sport Exchange where we bring you news making round as far as the business of sport is concerned. My name is Judy Olaniro and I hope you will join me as I take you through the exciting and lucrative world of sports. The real deal is we'll go straight to the news segment, and after the news segment also we have someone standing by for our dugout segment where we'll be looking at critical issues that will affect our sports. Our offside segment has something to do with football development. Don't go away because when I come back it will be in the news in brief.
Fantastically finished.
All right, welcome back. Let's start with this one. Business mogul Aliko Dangote is partnering with the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development to restore the football pitch and scoreboard of the Abuja National Stadium, also known as the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. The Africa's richest man is the first personality to help on the Sport Ministry's Adopt a Pitch campaign program, which is designed to revamp dilapidated sports infrastructures in the country. All is not well in the relationship between the Spanish Football Federation and Spanish production group and agency, MediaPro. The discontent between both bodies is the sale of the right to Spain's domestic football championship, Copa del Rey, which MediaPro accused the Spanish Football Federation of non-transparency. The legal action is mooted by MediaPro to address the grievance. Meanwhile, Spain's competition watchdog CNMC has criticized the Spanish Football Federation's invitation to tender for the new rights cycle for the Spanish Supercopa tournament. The CNMC said that the tender process, which covers the 2019 to 2020 to 2021 to 2022 period, violates the 2015 Royal Decree which governs the sale of broadcast rights in Spain. Let's go straight to Formula One. Motor Racing Championship Formula One has seen its operating income increase while primary revenue and other revenue dropped in the period which ended in September 30th, 2019. Figures released by F1 parent company, U.S. mass media group Liberty Media. Operating income increased from 39 to 44 million US dollars, while the primary revenue decreased from 560 to 553 million US dollars, as other revenue declined from 87 to 80 million US dollars. And back to football. World Football Governing Body FIFA has told soccer's biggest agents who are resisting limits to their cut of player deals that there is a need to curb the excesses of the $7 billion US dollars annual transfer market. Agents' earnings from transfers would be capped at a maximum of 10% of fees when acting for the selling club under changes approved by the FIFA Council that are due to be introduced from 2021. Reacting to the development, some top agents say they were not consulted by FIFA as they see the new rule as anti-competitive and unlawful. And to snooker, World Snooker has furthered its effort to promote the sport in India by agreeing a partnership with the India Business Group, IBG, while it has also revealed details of a new luxury experience for its Masters tournament. IBG is an advisory consultancy that specializes in helping organizations develop bilateral trade and investment opportunities between the UK and EU and India markets. IBG will focus on helping World Snooker increase the numbers who play the game, as well as creating more interest at all levels of India's society. We're back in football right now. Dutch beer brand Heineken has extended its UEFA Champions League sponsorship, and in separate deal signed as the official beer partner of Euro 2020, ending UEFA's long search for a beer brand to sponsor the national team tournament. That is using one stone to kill two birds, you want to say. Congratulations, by the way, to Heineken. And before we go, did you know, according to Forbes and Statista, 6 sports personalities are in the top 10 highest earning celebrities on Instagram? And they are Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, David Beckham, Neymar Jr., Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Ronaldinho. Wow, earn so much, of course, posting on Instagram, especially for branded items. Okay, also, did you know this, that Nigeria and Saudi Arabia are, two of the top oil-producing countries? But while Saudi Arabia is thinking about life after oil, what are they doing? Just recently, a 2-day workshop about sport investment was held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and it was all about investing in sports. They're already thinking about life after oil. Is Nigeria doing same? Anyway, I play you some of the insights we got from there, courtesy of our friends in Saudi Arabia. And that right after that, we'll take a break, and it will be time for our dugout segment, where I will be having a guest and we'll be talking about the next TV deal that has to do with the Nigerian Premier Football League. Don't go away. It's still Sport Exchange with me, Jide Olanyo.
I'm delighted to be here in Saudi Arabia. It's a fantastic experience for us. It's been really eye-opening to see the potential that this region has to develop football. We all have heard about the clubs from a perspective of what they've done in international competitions, but being here in a domestic environment and understanding the opportunities and the challenges that they're facing, it's an honor and it's a delight to be able to share our input and our knowledge from the Sports Business Institute Barcelona. I think this is a fantastic initiative by the SPL, because the fact that they're bringing the clubs together that are coming to talk about what they need, and the SPL offering this service to them, I think it's of great benefit.
I believe the most important takeaway from this workshop for the attendees, it will be related to sports investment. How to attract sports investment from sponsors, how to work on the sponsorship, also how to connect with fans, how to improve stadium experiences, but in the end, how to develop and professionalize a product.
Fantastically finished.
All right, welcome back. It's still Sport Exchange, and this is the dugout segment. And with me on the dugout segment is Okpeyemi Ajala. Okpeyemi Ajala, by the way, is a financial expert as well as a sport analyst. Let me welcome Yemi. Yemi, Okpe.
It's nice having you.
It's a pleasure to always have you here. And we are looking, on the show today, we're looking at the commercialization of the Nigerian Premier Football League. That is how to make sure our Premier League, which is also known as the NPFL, is commercially viable. So And maybe it's a coincidence that we're starting with, is it a rumor yet, or is it actually news that is it substantiated here already? Because there are reports that there is an offer on the table of the NPFL right now by Next TV, and it is over $225 million in 5 years. And one of the problems that we've had with the NPFL is that the NPFL, as it is right now, is now on TV. How do you make a product that's not on TV commercially viable? Yemi?
Okay. From that, from the brief in the press briefing, let me put it that way, because up to this moment, the details of that contract is not out, and it's obvious you and I, we are not privy to that, to the terms of those contracts. But the way it was put out, as if it's no longer an offer. It's like the offer has been made. There is acceptance. There is the consideration of $225 million over supposedly $225 million over 5 years to cover certain aspects of the league. And of course, there is this intention to create a valid contract. So having said that, that means we have every ingredient towards having what is called a contract. So let's assume for the purpose of argument that we have this contract. Now, from the snippet, it appears we are still not going to have live matches. And I wouldn't understand if you're having $225 million over 5 years, why can't we have, if it's just match of the week, the grade A match. And not too long ago, an official of the NPFL said something that it will cost you an average of 9 million naira to produce a live telecast. Okay. And my arithmetic is bad, but for this purpose, for the purpose of this, that gives you have 38 matches in a season. So 9 million times 38, let's even say 10 million, that is 380 million in a season. Times 5, that gives you roughly 1.8 billion. So, but 225 roughly translate roughly maybe 360. That still gives you like 6-7 billion. So we are saying to produce a live telecast, a live transmission of matches, that you are going to spend possibly 1.6 billion naira over 5 years. And because of economy of scale, because you are killing, it's not just a one-off. It's like you're having 38 matches over 5 years. That is roughly like 190 matches in 5 years. So I expect the cost of production to also be forced down. So if actually we are going to have $225 million, there is no point, there is no reason. I can't rationalize why we should not have at least a live telecast. Because if you are saying we are not going to see the live telecast and possibly going to have some other things like maybe production, content, I'm confused, so to speak. And if I'm confused, I wonder the fate of other 220 million Nigerians who actually, I don't understand. It's a new concept, Next TV. How many Nigerians actually have that? And I keep making reference to the Chinese experiment where when it was free to air on the platform everybody could see, they were having as much as 200 million viewers, and immediately became pay per view. The audience, the viewership actually dropped to less than 200,000. So I hope that will not be the experience.
Okay, before we go to the issue of whether pay per view, because my understanding of Next is that it's likely the Next TV is a satellite TV, free to air satellite TV. But before, there's this confusion. You're making allusion to confusion, and I don't want you to be more confused by the next question. And the question is it a partnership from your own view or a sponsorship? Because from what we've heard so far, does it come across like a partnership, or it's just,
as I said, because we are not privy to the terms of those contracts, so to sit here and hazard a guess whether it's actually a partnership or a sponsorship will not be fair on the part of the operators of the contract, and whether to the terms, letters and spirit of that contract. But if you are going to be the title sponsors, and I think with 225 million naira dollars, US dollars, I think that eminently qualifies you as a title sponsor of the league. So that tells you should be more of a partnership.
Because why am I asking you this question? All right, maybe we can see that rolling on the screen now. Is looking at the new proposed transaction structure of the NPFL. This is it, because it's looking like a partnership sort of, because it said there's going to be an initial investment in the NPFL operations and production on NPFL matches and events. Is Nest TV going to bring money for the production of this? Are they going to work it out? And also, there will be sales. The second one, there will be sales of NPFL content produced to ensure it generates revenue across all platforms in Nigeria, Africa, and global. That brings us, is it going to be free? Is it going to be pay for pay-per-view and all that? Then I'm aware that there is a lot of talks also going with Nest TV and some other telecoms operators now about the commercialization of the over-the-top. The contract has not been signed, it's not been unveiled yet, but Next TV already doing something about talking to the telecoms. And the commercialization of NPFL rights to generate sufficient revenue through the optimization of NPFL earnings. Already we know that there are sponsors for the NPFL. They might not be big. Some of them are already pulling out because of the TV snag. Are we going to be seeing this? How is this going to work out?
Yeah, but as I said, because we are not too clear whether we have live transmission, live telecast, that is live transmission of matches. If that is taken out of the equation, I'm afraid it's doomed to fail.
Okay.
We are just preparing the ground for advanced failure, because you put in the audience, the visibility you expect for your brand comes from the audience, and you don't get the audience when they don't even see the main content about seeing the productions about the live matches, not just highlights. Your friend can go to the stadium and just record one or two things for you and put on YouTube or any other social media platform for everybody to see. But if we are talking, imagine what will have happened to DPL if all we just get about DPL is the highlight of matches, not having the time. And even for the sponsors, they tend to put their advert to ensure they have that brand visibility during the course of the matches. Maybe when there is a water break, someone injury and what have you. But again, without, I'm sounding like a broken record. I'm just sorry to say that. Without having the live telecast of these matches, every other thing, this should be like added impetus or the auxiliaries to the main contract. This should not form the bulk of the contract. The bulk of the contract, the main thing in that contract, the subject matter of the contract should actually be a live transmission of matches. And we have said, how do we ensure people get to watch these things? Should it be pay-per-view? Are people going to add additional decoder to what they have already? Is it going to be on social media, which of course would naturally be more expensive when you take into consideration the amount you spend on your data and the amount you spend on pay-per-view. So these are again are things the NPFL people, the partners and the next guys need to also explain to the football of Nigeria. Like, look, if you subscribe to our pay-per-view platform, this and these are the benefits. Again, people have had their money and hands burned several times with so many platforms that came, and of course, before even starting the show, they packed up.
Wow. All right. Finally, before we go on, by looking at what is the fate of I hope we won't be, by the time you sign the contract, for example, this fiat or this what would I call unilateral decision from somewhere, especially when we have the national team play and you have to stop the league for games. I hope this will not happen to the contract whatsoever, because it's critical, sir.
Yeah, I expect that is why the earlier we tend to swing this thing, the better, so that people can submit their also input. You have the I's dotted and the T's crossed. Now, we are already paying for this latitude. Take the instance when the league was suspended before it started again for like 6 months. All matches, all international engagement that had to do with our home-based players, where we had them ending in defeat. Twice to Togo, knocked out of Chan, knocked out of Wafu. We've not noticed it concerning the main national team because Gerard Rowe has refused to even touch the home-based players. Just imagine that the legion of the foreign-based players also were plying their trade in a place where the league was suspended for 6 months. The same result will have happened. And the LMC and NFF needs to have this understanding. A situation where you stop the league for matches where no home-based league player is involved is untenable. And where you also need let the league keeps running, well, all the NPFL players, just like the Wafu and the Chan, are involved, I think is also regrettable. So we should understand that the league and the national team assignment are two parallel lines.
All right. So I hope that that will sink in. The message will sink in. All right. I think that's all we can really have now as far as it is concerned. Hopefully, Okwayemi will join me again when we have issues that has to do with the Nigerian Professional Football League as regards this next TV contract. Maybe when it is signed, we'll come back and look at it critically. But I just want to say thank you very much, Okwe, for coming around.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Okay, before we go, let's, the offside here before I sign off eventually. It's about the Memorandum of Understanding. Or should I say it is a communique by the Sport Ministry that has the Sport Minister and the Nigerian Football Federation. And this is what the communique, there is an understanding between the two parties now. Because there is a new minister in town, or should I say a new sheriff in town. And these are what is expected of their mutual, should I say, relationship. One is to chart a new direction in the NFF. Yeah, that is it. To reposition the domestic league. 3, to reposition youth development in sports. And to work with the ministry, that's the Ministry of Sports, towards early preparation for participation in tournaments and championships. 5, to reach out to all factions with a view to having an amicable resolution of all problems. Number 6, to make sure that they develop sporting facilities, particularly football pitches and other stadia infrastructure. 7, to improve the positive perception of football administration in Nigeria. 8, to ensure the NFF bill now with the National Assembly is transmitted for assent by Mr. President speedily. And number 9, to ensure efficient management of resources and deepening private investment in sports development. That is the metrics we will be measuring the achievement of the Nigerian Football Federation board, that's the executive board with. So let's keep this and let's begin to watch them. That is it for now on Sport Exchange. Until I come your way next time, enjoy sports and make sure sports is money to you.